Hi all, this is Losd Punch Out TV. How are you all doing on this Tuesday evening? Hope you're all well out there. I put together a little video. Well, I am going to put this video together of top 5 fighters of the year. For me, it's in no order at all. Like there's no order. I've just put the top 5 fighters together. And this is based off fights what I have seen this year. Obviously, because I haven't seen every boxing match, so I don't want people getting it twisted and getting angry with me. This is just purely based on the fights what I've seen this year. So I hope you enjoy this video. I'm going to put it together. But like I say, this is just based off the fights what I've seen this year. It's in no specific order. So I'm going to start with Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol versus Canelo Alvarez, which was back in the 7th of May this year. Dimitri Bivol, 21-0. He is now, but at the time he was 19-0 when he fought Canelo. And he's got 11 knockouts. But anyway, the fight between Bivol and Canelo, that for me was got to be the best schooling I've seen in a long time. Canelo moved up to light heavyweight. What I consider and what a lot of people consider, he was cherry picking Bivol. Didn't go for Arthur Beterbiev. Went for Bivol. I'm not saying he wouldn't have gone for Beterbiev if he'd have beat Bivol, but he got schooled, plain and simple. Don't get me wrong, Canelo's a great fighter, but Bivol was too much to him. Beat him to every punch, more or less. Was just a bigger, stronger guy, moving in and out. Loved how Bivol jumped in, throwing combinations and punches and bunches, as they say, and then jumping back out. And after a few rounds, you could quite clearly see Canelo didn't have no answer for him, and he was getting frustrated through the fight. So that, for me, was the best schooling of the year. So I'm going to give that one to Dimitri Bivol. Like I say, it's in no order at all. It's just, I've just written them down this way. Second one I'm going to give is Regis Prograis versus Jose Zepeda, which was on my son's birthday, actually, 26th of last month. Regis broke him down very slowly. It was too much for Zepeda. I think Zepeda is a great fighter, a dangerous fighter, big puncher, but Regis, too smart, too clever, harder hitter, and he's a dog, Regis. He likes a war. And the only thing with Regis Prograis, I just wish I saw more of him. I wish, hopefully now he knocked out Zepeda for the WBC belt. Hopefully we'll get to see more of Regis next year. So I'm going to give that one because I thought it was a great, tough opponent, and I thought Regis did well. Broke him down, eventually got the stoppage in the 11th round. And then number two, so I'll give that to Regis Prograis. Yeah, it is a bit biased. I do like Regis. Regis is one of my favourite fighters. Number three, I'm going to give to Jack Catterall versus Josh Taylor, which was back on the 26th of February 2022 this year. I'm going to put Jack up there because he got robbed, clearly got robbed. He won the fight. Didn't get the decision, which was disgusting. Don't get me wrong, like Josh Taylor, I think he's a fantastic fighter, but Jack won that fight. That poor lad from Chorley should be undisputed. Yes, they're running it back early next year, but Josh is giving up half the belts. So I felt really sorry for Jack Catterall. Great performance. Underestimated him. I thought he was going to get stopped late on, and I think a lot of people did. Josh looked past him. But tremendous fight from Jack Catterall. Like I say, feel really sorry for the lad. He should be undisputed now, but he isn't. So got to put Jack in there. Fully deserved to win and become undisputed. But like I say, he isn't. So I've got Jack Catterall at number 3. These are my top 5 fighters of the year, by the way. Like I say, what I've seen. Number 4, I'm going to give it to Devin Haney, because he became undisputed. Not only did he become undisputed, he went over to George Kambosos' back garden, not only once, twice, and beat him with ease both times. Like Devin, great fighter. Hope to see him in some big wars this year before he's on about moving up. Just an all-round great performance from Devin Haney to go to not only did he go to his backyard, he went to the other side of the world to fight this guy. And Kambosos is a good fighter, but Dev just schooled him, just had too much for him. Just a better fighter. And there's nothing wrong with George Kambosos. I think he'll come again. But Devin just had his number both times and just showed what a tremendous fighter he is. So at number 4, I'm going to give that to Devin Haney. Like I say, he not only did it once, he did it twice in his own back garden. And now at number 5, I know what you're going to say, but I've got this as a split between 2 fighters, and you're going to be thinking, well, how can you have it between 2 fighters if it's number 5? Well, this is the reason why. I can't give it to one guy and not give it to the other guy. And the reason being, I picked Jermell Charlo for when he beat Brian Castano. I did write it down when he beat him. It was on, whatever, it doesn't matter. He beat him on the 14th of May this year. But I gave it to Jermell Charlo because he became undisputed. 2 great fights. Brian Castano, great fighter. Jermell Charlo, both fights were a war in my eyes. The first fight was brilliant. Second one was good, but for me personally, I think the first fight was better. But it was a draw. They ran it back. Jermell Charlo got the decision. Great fight. And the reason I'm going to put Inoue in there, Monster Inoue, is because I can't give it to Jermell Charlo as number 5 for becoming undisputed and not also give it to Inoue because he's just beat Paul Butler to become undisputed. So I've given both of them a split at number 5. But the reason why I picked Devin above them was because Devin actually went to Kambosos' back garden and did it, whereas Jermell was at home in the US and Inoue was at home in Japan when Paul Butler travelled over there. Now, like I say, hope you don't get mad at me. These are just the fights what I've seen myself. They're the fighters what I've picked for the top 5/6 fighters of the year for me. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know who you think has been the best 5 fighters of your year. It's been a wonderful year of boxing, I think. It's just got better since last year was a great year. This year's been a great year as well. Okay, we've not seen all the fights what we wanted to see, i.e. Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. But hopefully next year we'll get to see the likes of Fury versus Usyk. I'd love to see Wilder versus AJ. I'd love to see Bud versus Spence and many more other fights. But kicking off early next year, we've got some good fights. We've got Eubanks versus Beefy Smith. We've got Arthur Peterviev versus Anthony Yarde, which I think that'll be a fantastic fight. There's no way that fight's going the distance. You have to say that Peterviev is a hot favourite for that. But it's been a wonderful year of boxing. I'm going to try and do a live stream on Christmas Eve. So if you can come through, even if you just pop in, say hello, be much appreciated. I will do another video wishing all my subs Merry Christmas and everyone. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out. I'll catch you on the next one.